he had this guy named ChrisCameraGuy. He had him on there, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about it for a little bit. He had a guy named ChrisCameraGuy on there, and dude, let's just be honest. This dude Chris was like pretty disrespectful at times. Like Richie would just, he's talking about something of God, whatever, and then this dude Chris would just ask him something like off the wall, and just like, my thing is this, right? Like, okay, let's say you're trying to get sober and you're trying to get clean, and then you have a friend that's like constantly like, hey, you want to come drink? Hey, well, hey, like, smell this, or like, hey, like, let's say you're trying to get sober, you're trying to stop like smoking or something. This dude always comes over and brings it up, and like, it's just like, it's disrespectful. It's like, dude, you're not respecting me. I'm trying to get clean. I'm trying to get sober, and you're over here throwing this stuff in my face. Like, you're actually disrespecting me. Like, for me, I would take that personal. Like, I know I'm kind of crazy, but like, for me, that's personal for me. Like, if that was me and I'm trying to get clean or whatever, and I got some guy like doing that and like kind of egging me on and stuff, trying to make me go back to that thing I just left, can I get an amen? Like, I'll kind of be in their face a little bit. Like, I'll be honest, I'll kind of be in their face like, dude, like, are you kidding me? Like, are you trying to, like, what are you trying to do right here? Are you really a friend here? Are you really an op? Like, dude, like, I'm trying to change my life and you're trying to bring me back. Like, that's the most disrespectful like thing ever, right? So anyways, that's kind of the same thing actually that was happening on Richie's podcast. If you don't believe me, go watch some of the old episodes. Like, Richie's talking about God, talking about changing, and Chris comes off the wall stuff about, I don't know, some crazy stuff, or crazy like questions of like straight up like worldly stuff. And I get it, Chris isn't saved or anything like that, but still, it's just like, dude, what are you doing, And so anyways, Richie's podcast was just like, it was a battle. Like, you could just see it, like visibly see it in the spirit. Like, if you know, it was like a war, like on cam. Like, you got what good and you got light. Like, it's just crazy. And so finally Richie was like, you know what? It's not of God. Like, there's some other stuff that was happening as well too between them. And Richie was just like, dude, I'm going to separate myself from him. And that's big because their channel blew up. I mean, on Richie's channel right now, we have 190,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people. And he just started, I think when he started, it was like, he only had like 10,000 at the time. So his channel grew crazy. All these people came because of this show that they had. And all of a sudden, it was just like, Richie's just going to stop and Richie's just going to like basically separate himself from this dude. So it was huge news. And I knew and then Richie's like, bro, there's no one else that I would rather have than you. And when he said that, I was just like, dude, so humbled. And again, this is 2023. I'm talking about last year. Like, God's still doing stuff last year. I haven't even shared everything that's happened in 2023. So that's another thing, right? Like in October, November, I get that. I think it was like October. All of a sudden, Richie's just like, I'm inviting you on as a co-host. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, I'm still trying to focus on this podcast here, like on the interviews, everything that's happening. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going to go on a channel with 190,000 people. And his, I've seen the stuff in his comments. All of a sudden, I know what I'm going to be exposed to. I know what people are going to say. There's worldly people that are subscribed because they want to hear that junk, And so I'm just thinking, dude, like, should I do this? And I felt at peace about it. Talked, to my parents. Talked to Andrea, and I was just like, all right, like, let's do this, And so anyways, like, that just completely took off, and now we're getting comments. Like, a lot of the people early on were just like, where's Chris? Like, this show sucks. And it's like, dude, if you guys have any problems, you guys can hit the road, unsubscribe. We're fine with it. We're here. We're turning this thing around. This thing was about all this other junk before. Now it's about reaching people. It's about getting people set free, delivered. We're about spreading the gospel now. Like, that's what we're doing. So it's been amazing. But anyways, all